Do you remember when the whole world frowned on dupes and people were really shaming people over buying counterfeit stuff or third-party things? I don't know about you, but in the last few days, I've seen a ton of like to know it followers sharing their Amazon dupe links on the platform. I couldn't help but think that's really fascinating because I remember when dupes were actually frowned upon and there were like lawsuits behind dupes, and there was just this big thing around like luxury versus dupes, and now it seems like it is so normal for people to not only share where they're getting their dupes and a like to know it profile so they can get affiliate marketing commission, but also just talk about it like it's nothing. And let me be honest, there is no shame with it. I just think it's interesting that Amazon can exist and be on both sides of the market. Now, what I'm never going to do is shame a business for having a business model that works and brings them revenue. Unless, of course, it's like detrimental to the population or it hurts people. That's a different conversation. But the conversation I want to have now is that I think is really interesting that Amazon is playing both sides. See, in 2020, Amazon debuted Amazon Luxury. And I do recall when it debuted that brands had hesitations for putting their luxury products on Amazon. Even brands like Nike declined to get on the Amazon platform. And I do believe that LVMH was also one of the companies that decided not to move forward with Amazon Luxury at the time. Fast forward to now, Amazon Luxury seems to be thriving. I saw a Chanel bag up there that was priced pretty normally, and I think something interesting is going on. Let's talk about a couple other things that happened, right? Some of the other third-party luxury retailers went completely out of business. There are reasons why they did it, but I like to focus on the fact that if you are always offering your customer a discount, that is what they're going to expect, and you're training your customer to only buy from you at the lowest possible amount. And those are the amounts that don't produce the type of margins so that it can be sustainable. The ending of these third-party retailers, them going bankrupt and all this stuff, there were tons of factors associated. But in the absence of having these third-party retailers, I do think the existence of Amazon Luxury shows something completely different. When we talk about who is buying luxury, we already know that luxury sales have been declining and kind of funny. And that's because luxury often forgets about the aspirational shopper. That shopper is not really who the luxury market claims they intend on marketing to, but sometimes I think that it is. And I think in times such as these, that the aspirational shoppers are super important to luxury brands. A brand like Chanel, in contrast, does not really need aspirational shoppers to support them. In fact, Chanel raised the price on their items significantly so to further carve out their niche amongst really luxury shoppers and to keep certain people from buying it. And that's a luxury game. I don't really have a qualm about it, but I did want to note that I saw Chanel on Amazon Luxury, so I thought that was interesting. Now, the thing that I find the most interesting is that when tariffs hit and the price of ordering things from China went up, there were some rumors that Chinese goods were obviously like not the same. They weren't good and that you don't need to buy from them anyway. But I showed you in one of my videos that that was not true. And many Chinese factories, whether this was accurate or not, exposed the luxury industry in such a way that it basically showed people the actual cost of doing business. America's getting a dose of fuck around and find out. Now, I'm sure you've been seeing these videos all over TikTok with this information, but the consequences are obviously dire. It's going to change how people do business forever. Now, in my industry, we already know that. We know that all luxury is intrinsic value. Some things are absolutely quality, but most of it is inflated. But by showing this to the masses and to consumers, I think that something psychological happened that we'll see the ramifications of for years to come. When the consumers stop feeling guilty about dupes, and because the consumer is holding on to their dollar more tightly now, given the economic times, the option to have dupes is no longer something that is embarrassing or shameful. It actually seems like to a lot of people that it might be the smarter way to go to save their money. For people who can actually afford the real thing, I've seen them mix high and low into their wardrobe because they're like, who's going to be able to tell? And I think that once you change the intrinsic value of luxury, you change so much, and it makes it harder to hold on to these aspirational customers. Now let's get back to Amazon. For a company like Amazon, I think it makes sense to actually cater to aspirational customers, but to have this luxury retail experience available too. Because most likely the people that are shopping when they're on Amazon Luxury, yes, they'll see those items and they'll see the price tags and they'll notice they're not getting a discount. But what Amazon also offers is dupes. So if they aren't satisfied with what's up there, Amazon has a really thriving gray market for dupes so that they can go and find the similar thing. It looks real enough and the satisfaction is there. And yes, Amazon benefits from both. Amazon benefits for somebody browsing luxury items and purchasing. And then Amazon benefits again for the purchase of these really well-made dupes, which very well could come from these same factories in China for all we know. Now, I don't know where they're coming from, and I don't know how this works into their overall business, but I do know this is happening. And as consumer sentiment continue to shift, new business models are going to come and adjust to it. And the ones that understand it, don't judge it, don't try to change it, they're going to be winners. But let me know what you think about it.